Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green, and look who's in fourth! Leicester City is ahead of us, and we are playing them today, so we have a chance to go third. That will put us one spot away from automatic promotion. Leroy Williamson is the top scorer in League One this year, even more than other John Green. Maybe we should just call him John Green now, since bald John Green, that makes me sad. I'm going to keep calling him other John Green. Today I'm going to talk about lawsuits and frivolous lawsuits and how they do and do not shape like culture in the United States. So that's something someone wanted to talk about that I'm quite interested in. Particularly when it comes to like frivolous medical lawsuits or crazy, weird medical malpractice lawsuits. We do have a problem with sort of over lawsuiting in the United States, particularly compared to other countries in the industrialized world. So if you look at our rate of lawsuits, ooh, that was a nice attractive cross. Our rate of lawsuits compared to, say, Sweden, it's much, much higher here, and many of those lawsuits are either unnecessary and they clog up the court system. They're a big like ask of the government because that's an expensive part of our system of governance, but it also ends up being a big problem. Wow, that was an extremely fast play by Leicester City. I didn't even see what happened, and then they hit the post. It was just like bam, 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 post. I can't compete with this. I'm concerned that we can't beat Leicester City. All right. So anyway, yeah. I think that's the concern that people have about frivolous lawsuits, is not only do they end up costing the government a lot of money, they also end up costing, like people a lot of money, and they just create massive inefficiencies in the economy because, for example, like if they're patent lawsuits can cause a lot of inefficiencies in the economy because people won't want to develop new products because they'll be worried about patent lawsuits, or they won't want to, in general, they won't want to innovate because they'll be worried about getting their pantsuit off and losing their net worth and etc. It is an issue in the United States, all of this stuff, particularly. I think it's an issue in the rest of the world too, but it's really problematic here because it ends up kind of, you know me, I don't like to exclude people from the discourse. And it ends up excluding people from the discourse, and like YouTube is a pretty good example of this. The threat of a lawsuit from Viacom definitely affected the way that YouTube developed in its first few years. And if it had been the kind of website that didn't have that didn't have tons of support, from Google, then it might not have ever been able to sort of survive and thrive, where I think we all know that YouTube has added a lot of value to like cultural discourse around the world and to the ability of people to distribute news and all other kinds of things. So another example is that doctors often practice what is called I can't remember the phrase for it, defensive medicine maybe, where you think like, well, there's a 99% chance that this person is fine, but if I don't order this test and they happen to have X disease, then I might get sued, and so I'm going to order X test, which is one of the reasons, not I think the primary reason I wish to state, but one of the reasons that in the United States our healthcare costs, we spend more than twice as much per capita on healthcare than most European countries, and we get frankly crappier results. Your chances of dying as a woman while giving birth is more than twice as high in the United States as it is in, say, Sweden. Your chance of dying from hospital infection is higher. There's a bunch of ways in which you are more likely to die. Are you seriously going to call that a penalty? I did not even hit the A button. Are you even kidding me? Wesley Crusher. Photoing him! He did it! Oh, that guy, I mean, how can he leave Swindon Town? We need him. I like Lovegood Bedwell as much as the next guy, but there's no freaking way that Lovegood Bedwell makes that save and keeps us in this game against Leicester City, who is ahead of us in the championship and whom we must defeat. Oh, come on. We're better than that. So So it's a double issue, right? Because there's the issue of the added cost that is unnecessary of all the CAT scans that you wouldn't otherwise order if it weren't for this defensive medicine. And then there's the issue of the malpractice, the frivolous malpractice suits, and how they can end up costing a lot of money and tying up a lot of resources and putting doctors in courtrooms when they should be treating patients and etc. Those are real issues, but they have been overplayed for political gain at times, I think, because studies have pretty consistently shown that it's a relatively small part of why we spend. What did I just do? What did panic? Thank you. Of why we spend so much money on healthcare. The number one reason that we spend so much on healthcare is that both patients and doctors don't there's never been a conversation about cost, and where most countries are able to have single payer systems where you're able to negotiate much better. We don't have that because we are primarily reliant upon private insurance, and so everything ends up costing a lot more per procedure, as well as there are more procedures. So I think it's a complicated story, but I would argue that it's not the biggest part of the complicated story. So how do we address any of this stuff? How do we because the truth is, patents are useful, right? And there is a reason that we have malpractice lawsuits in this country. It's because if somebody does something that is hideously negligent, cuts off the wrong breast in breast cancer surgery, leaving you with cancer and the breast that oh, thank goodness for that post. What a friend it's been to us this game. You know what I mean. I'm not going to finish telling that story because you know what I meant. In that situation, we need some way of, we need some way of establishing, who's at fault and how best to move forward. Now, I do think that, there are non-monetary ways of kind of ensuring that care gets better that are probably in the end maybe more effective than just the straight lawsuit strategy. But I understand that we need some lawsuits, and we need some patent lawsuits. We need some copyright lawsuits. If you want to go and make a copy of, get it? Oh, I'd like to see you being a little bit more of a finisher, other John Green. If you want to go and print a copy of The Fault in Our Stars and start selling it in bookstores and have all of the proceeds go to the National Rifle Association, well, I would like to be able to sue you and say, I wrote the book The Fault in Our Stars, and I do not think that you should be able to print a copy of it and sell it in bookstores and give all the proceeds to the National Rifle Association. Oh, Leicester City. I mean, I'd almost take a 0-0 draw at this point. This is intimidating stuff. These guys, they got skills. Are you hurt there? What's wrong with your hamstring? I'm concerned about you. Is it your quad? I'm going to assume that he's fine. So, the problem is that, we can talk all we want about how we need patent reform, which we do, and how we need tort reform and medical malpractice and other things, and I think we do. I agree with those people. The problem is that the actual business of implementing it is extremely complicated. Oh! Schmerg. Yeah. So I think that it's a real problem. I think that when it comes to healthcare costs in particular, it's a bit of a red herring because it's a way of not dealing with the larger problem that we can't bring healthcare costs down without significant changes to the overall structure of the system that people will find kind of repugnant. But in terms of but we definitely have too many frivolous lawsuits in the United States. But fixing the problem is going to be really difficult because we have all these constitutional reasons to have due process of law and the rights of people to seek redress when they have been wronged. And there's nothing wrong with those laws. It's just that the way that they're implemented is very out of date. Why are you giving a kick to the other team when I have behaved in a way that is completely befitting the quality and skill and good looks and charm of the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers? I find this whole situation disgusting. I should have possession of the ball. None of this should be happening. Why is this still happening? What? Okay, now I have the ball, but there's still no reason why that happened either. Green Eggs and Foderingham can kick the ball so far that I'm worried this is going to go into the net. No, okay. Oh, maybe there? Yes? We just have not gotten it going today against Leicester City at all. So I don't have any good solutions. I think we need patent reform. I think we need tort reform. But I don't have good ways of doing it because a lot of this stuff is in our Constitution, which is hard to fix. And lots more of it is, extremely like contentious and complicated. But as far as the patents go, I kind of think, I don't know. There's no good solution for that because that's not even in an amendment of the Constitution. Like, patent law is one of the very few things that is discussed in detail in the articles of the Constitution itself, because it was very important to the Founding Fathers, who were obsessed with private property, including intellectual property. So I think that it's actually going to be a relatively tough problem to solve. Not to sound hopeless, but there you go. Thanks for watching. 0-0. Wait, the game isn't over. The game, there's still, while we yet breathe, there is hope, friends. Come on, John. Why you got to be such a quitter? For all I know, maybe I'm in the Capital One Cup and I'm going to get to play extra time. Probably not, though, because I've been... Oh, Leroy Williamson, I obviously wanted you to kick it over the top to John Green. Gosh, I don't know what you were thinking there. Did you just lose us the game with your stupidity, your poor decision-making? Oh, what a... Please do not say that was a foul. Oh, I think he was saying he was offside, which is acceptable. All right, we have 3 minutes of added time. Maybe that's enough for Lionel Richie to just go on an adventure. The thingamajigger is up and away. Nope, not a good job there. Maybe we have enough time. Maybe, probably not. No, widespread disappointment in Swoodilypoopville as the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers draw 0-0 against Leicester City and do not get any closer to that second place spot that we need so badly in order to move to the Premier League next season. Thank you for watching. I'll try harder next time. Best wishes.